Disney has been in the spotlight for some criticism lately, whether it's about Snow White's casting in the live-action remake or releasing its first-ever R-rated movie, which turned out to be a huge box office hit. But one thing Disney seems to keep doing is turning its classic characters into massive franchises. That's exactly what's happening with the recent Moana live-action movie. But we're not here to focus on that today. What we're diving into is the exciting news about a sequel, Moana 3. There are some big details about what Moana 3 is bringing to the table, and we've got a bunch of fresh updates to share. So, let's jump right in. The ending of Moana 2 really packs a punch, delivering an explosive finale that changes everything for Moana and sets up a clear path for Moana 3. Picking up after the huge success of the 2016 original, the sequel takes Moana on another epic ocean adventure. This time, she's tasked with restoring a lost island and breaking a curse that threatens her people. Joined by a crew of loyal villagers and the return of Maui, Moana faces the dangerous god Nalo, who is behind the curse. With Moana 2 looking like a box office hit, it's no surprise that the ending teases plenty of room for future sequels. The biggest twist comes when Moana seemingly dies while restoring the island of Motufetu, only to be revived and elevated to demigod status. In a dramatic showdown, Moana dives into the ocean to reach the cursed island while Nalo strikes her with lightning. It looks like the end for her, but the spirits of her ancestors, along with the ocean's power, bring her back. This transformation gives her new powers, similar to Maui's, and turns her oar into a magical weapon. The oar now glows with golden light and allows Moana to shape the tides, paving the way for even more incredible adventures. Moana's new demigod status even comes with tattoos, much like Maui's, which symbolize her achievements. As she takes on new challenges in the future, she could gain more tattoos, maybe even animated ones like Mini Maui, hinting at the possibility of a mini Moana. This transformation doesn't just enhance Moana's powers, it also expands her world, opening up countless possibilities for exploration and growth. The adventure in Moana 2 is driven by a vision from Tautai Vasa, who reveals that the cursed island's isolation is cutting off Moana's tribe from the rest of humanity. Restoring Motufetu reconnects their part of the ocean with others, leading to alliances with wayfinders from different tribes. While this sets up exciting opportunities for collaboration, it also hints at potential conflicts with new tribes, adding depth to the story. One of the most intriguing characters in Moana 2 is Matangi, a powerful but reluctant servant of Nalo. While initially seeming like a villain, she turns out to be trapped by Nalo's control and ends up helping Moana and her crew. Unfortunately, Matangi doesn't get her happy ending, as the mid-credit scene reveals she's still under Nalo's influence. This sets up a fascinating dynamic for future stories, with Matangi potentially shifting between ally and adversary depending on how her fate unfolds. The mid-credit scene also teases Nalo's return, making it clear he's not done with Moana. His declaration that this is only the beginning cements him as a recurring threat for the next movie. Alongside Nalo, characters like Matangi and Tamatoa, the giant crab from the first film, are poised to challenge Moana in Moana 3. With Moana's newfound powers and expanded world, the stage is set for an epic follow-up. As for how many Moana movies we might see, nothing is confirmed yet for Moana 3. It took 8 years for Moana 2 to arrive, so there might be a bit of a wait before Disney officially announces the next installment. However, the strong box office projections for Moana 2 and its clear setup for sequels make it likely that Moana's adventures will continue. Plus, with a live-action Moana remake set to release in 2026, starring Catherine Lagaya as Moana and Dwayne Johnson returning as Maui, fans will have plenty more Moana content to enjoy in the near future. One of the exciting things about sequels to popular Disney movies is the chance to hear the original cast reunite for another adventure, and Moana is no different. While it's hard to say exactly who from the supporting cast will return for Moana 3, it's clear that the iconic duo of Maui and Moana would have to take the lead. This means Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would likely be back as the mighty demigod Maui, and Auliʻi Cravalho would once again voice Moana. Since both actors returned for the first sequel, Disney would definitely want to bring them back for Moana 3 if it happens. Although Cravalho didn't reprise her role in the live-action remake, that decision was mostly due to logistical reasons. On the other hand, The Rock was eager to play Maui in the live-action version, showing that the stars of Moana are committed to the franchise for the long haul. Moana 2 is all about embracing the unknown and having the courage to take risks for the sake of exploration. Every character in the movie is forced to face new challenges and take dangerous paths. Moana's grandmother even tells her early on that she now understands the risks of Moana's adventures. The tribe has to expand across the ocean, or they risk extinction. Each member of Moana's crew grows by accepting change, whether it's Lotto's willingness to try new things, Moni overcoming his fears, or Kele learning to adjust to the ocean. Both Moana and Maui also face their own challenges. Maui tries to protect Moana from danger, but in the end, they succeed when he accepts that he can handle things on their own. Moana, on the other hand, has to learn to take a different approach by accepting Matangi's advice to get lost and chart a new course, even though it's outside her comfort zone. This is an interesting lesson, especially when you consider Moana's twist involving Te Fiti. With all that said, Moana 3 can't just repeat these themes if it wants to be a great story. It'll need to bring something fresh to the table. Another exciting thing about Moana 3 is the recent news about Moana 2, which has reached a huge milestone and is proving to be a big hit. Moana 2 had a strong debut, earning $139.8 million over the Thanksgiving weekend in the US. So far, it's made $882.5 million globally, and it's expected to hit $1 billion early in 2025. If it does, it'll become the fourth Disney animated movie to reach that level, joining Zootopia, Frozen, and Frozen 2. Even without hitting the $1 billion mark, it's already a massive success. With a reported budget of $150 million, Moana 2 has clearly gone way beyond its break-even point, which was around $375 million. If it does reach $1 billion, it will join an exclusive group of movies. The general rule is that films need to earn at least 2.5 times their production budget to break even, because theaters keep about half of ticket sales and marketing costs aren't included in production budgets. Disney has a lot of billion-dollar films like Finding Dory and Inside Out 2, and a few that made over $2 billion like Star Wars: The Force Awakens and Avengers: Endgame. If Moana 2 hits the $1 billion mark, it will be Disney's 28th billion-dollar movie. What's even more impressive is that Moana 2 was originally planned as a Disney Plus series, but turning it into a theatrical release was a great decision that's paid off big. It might even change how Disney approaches their future streaming projects, especially when it comes to their major animated properties. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.